I'm Denny Behrens, Colorado State Director for Big Game Forever, and I'm also the co-chair for Colorado Stop the Wolf Coalition. We're down here today in Catron County, New Mexico, talking to landowners, livestock producers, outfitters, and public employees concerning having to live in this ground zero where the Mexican wolf was released. And in the meeting that we had today, you're going to hear testimony and comments from all these people concerning having to live with the Mexican wolf in this county.
My name's Carrie Cox-Romero. I'm the Executive Director of the New Mexico Council of Outfitters and Guides. We're a 501c6 nonprofit that advocates the hunting and fishing industry. The hunting community, hunters, some outfitter and guides, especially outfitters and guides who are not located or headquartered within wolf country, they don't have a no wolf stance. They're all right with the idea of the wolf. The problem is the management of the wolf right now. We've got to figure out how to better the financial compensation to the individuals who are losing livestock to confirmed kills. But then also, we need to figure out exactly what is happening with our prey base, because the outfitter and guide economy is completely dependent on that prey base as the primary tourism economy. Mexican wolves are a huge problem in the southwestern region of New Mexico.
My name's Ian Fletcher. I'm the sheriff in Catron County, New Mexico. The problem I have from the law enforcement end is with it being a federal program. I understand, I'm not necessarily saying I agree as far as the public lands where this wolf is going, but the impact for me in a law enforcement capacity is the wolves on private property, the cows themselves being private property, and it's basically just trying to enforce people's rights as far as their private property rights.
I'm Roger McQueen. We bought this ranch here in Reserve in Catron County in October last year. We have about 300 head of mama cows, and then there's 22 or 25 bulls on that, and then we have about 10 head of horses that we manage those with. We immediately started having wolf problems. January, it really started hard. We started calving in January, and so they moved in on us. We actually thought we had a disease problem. We'd found 5 or 6 dead calves, and they weren't even ate on, and we actually sent them in and got them tested by veterinarians and to see what was going on so we could solve the problem, and come to find out they were just wolf bite victims is what they were. I'm afraid the introduction of more wolves, especially in the Colorado area, is going to bleed down into this area, and this is supposed to be the subspecies true Mexican wolf, and so I can't see how they would allow that to take place and let them northern wolves cross with the Mexican wolf. I'm not a biologist, but that just don't seem like that's going to work. I know we got the wolf here. I can't do nothing about that. We've got to learn to tolerate it and deal with it. But we need to get it delisted and get it back into the hands of the state rather than being in the hands of the feds.
My name is Jess Carey. I'm the Catron County Wildlife Investigator for Catron County, New Mexico. I've been investigating predator-animal, predator-human interactions since April 2006. I've investigated approximately 1,000 incidences. Well, I've seen a major increase. In 2017, we had 40 predator-animal complaints that I investigated, along with I co-investigated with Wildlife Services, USDA, APHIS. 2018, it went up 187.5%, from 40 to 115. Out of the 115, it was 81 confirmed wolf-related. This year, we're already at 87 complaints and it's just barely the start of the 5th month for this year. The coordinator of the Mexican Wolf Recovery Program out of Alpine, Arizona, while they were doing their study, she was supplementally feeding the wolves while the study was going on, and they were putting out the information that no wolves had killed a single elk calf. And the problem was they're not going to kill the elk calves while they're feeding them.
I am Jay Platt. I am the owner and founder of G3 Outfitters, a Catron County-based outfitting company. I also own a real estate company called Premier Ranch Properties, where I broker hunting ranches and agricultural ranches throughout the state of New Mexico, but primarily in Catron County. And then I run one of the largest ranches in Catron County, one of the largest deeded ranches. And so I have lived here for 10 years and have just watched this progressively get more and more impactful for our county that's already, one of the hardest hit economic regions in the entire country, not just New Mexico, but this is it can be a tough place, and the wolf is making it that much tougher. I find elk kills, nonstop. Of course, lions kill and bears kill, but we're noticing a much greater impact with the wolf. Ultimately, it is affecting our land values, and I think honestly representing a property is an important part of my business. And when you throw this deal into the mix, it makes it tough. And I foresee the day if changes aren't made where, these ranches aren't going to be near as attractive as they once were. The ranch that I run had 2 confirmed kills 2 weeks ago. I've set up game cameras, and to watch the activity is harrowing, to say the least. We've had as many as 9 wolves on those kills. And they're stopping in about every 3 days. They hardly eat, which is a huge misconception with the public. They have this idea, for whatever reason, that wolves only kill what they eat, and that's couldn't be farther from the truth. The other kill, where there was wolf track everywhere, we put 2 and 2 together, called Jess Carey, the Catron County investigator. He came out, and the way that works, to get a confirmed kill, and you guys may have already talked about this, but Jess Carey is hired by Catron County, but he has to be accompanied by a USDA agent. So there's no, I hear people say, well, how can you confirm? That's how you can confirm. It is scientific. When a confirmation happens, it is 100% certifiable. I'm a college-educated person. I would consider myself fairly astute and able to read and comprehend. As I got the paperwork, I couldn't really even make sense as to what and how the compensation program really works. It's confusing, it's not cut and dry, and it does not work like the media has been shown. I hear people say, well, who cares as long as you're compensated? Well, that compensation isn't accurate, and it's not, it often doesn't even happen. I feel like the management is so far and so skewed, they don't know what they're managing in the first place.
So my name is Audrey McQueen, and I own this ranch. We bought it back in August of 2018. And the name of the place is Rainy Mesa Ranch. Since December 15th of 2018, we've lost 19 head of cattle and 1 horse that's been confirmed wolf kills. And we're waiting, right now we haven't seen a dollar. We're waiting for about $55,000 to come in. And it doesn't look real good because the fund's broke right now. And I hear stories from other ranchers saying sometimes it takes 3 or 4 years, sometimes never, if you ever do get compensated. One day I found 3 dead calves. One day I found 5 dead calves. And I got to thinking, is there a disease up here? Do I have something wrong? Because you'd look at a dead calf and there wasn't much wrong with it. So then when we call the wolf investigator and he comes out and does the bite spreads, he shaves it, and the puncture wounds and all that, then they're confirmed wolf kills. One of the biggest problems I have too is these wolves kill for sport. They don't just kill for their food. We had a horse that was 10 years old, pretty much a family pet. You could rope on him. My daughter could do barrels, and then I could ride him on the ranch. Then I could get off of him, let the 2-year-old twins ride him. Just a gentle horse. And anyway, one morning I found him in the back pasture, and he could hardly walk. His hind legs, it was like his back was really hurting and his legs were messed up. So we took him to the vet. It was really cold, so I didn't want to clip him right then, but I had my suspicions the wolves did it. After numerous vet bills and vaccinations, the horse died. And then that's when we called the wolf investigator, and they clipped him and found his hamstrings were bit, all over his hindquarters. He had bite marks. This horse died a terrible death. The infection's what killed him about 6 weeks later. This horse got attacked not 200 yards from where we were sleeping. Even worse than a horse, I've got 4 little kids from 10 to 2 years old. And that's my greatest fear living here, is that the way I grew up, we could go play and do whatever, and our parents weren't worried, but it's not how it is now. I'm always constantly worried, is a wolf going to come in? Where's my kids? I have to watch them at all times, and it's just not fair. They've built cages at the bus stops. A kid has to go in this beautiful area and sit in a cage for the bus to come so a wolf don't get them. When I first bought it, that's all they talked about. Let's go to the ranch, let's go to the ranch. Now, all as they know of this ranch is death. That's all they know. How their pets died, how Splash got killed. My daughter cried for 2 days. More than the money of it and the financial, to see your little 10-year-old bawling and you can't do a dang thing to fix it. And you just sit there and you say, why? Why do we have these wolves? Why do they got to be here?